Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Thursday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is June 7th, 2018, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a suspect is in custody in connection with an alleged shooting Wednesday in Ignacio, said town manager Mark Garcia. Garcia said the shooting near downtown prompted an immediate and heavy police response. Officers with Ignacio Police Department, Southern Ute Police Department, and Southern Ute Rangers were called to the scene. No roads were closed, Garcia said, but police scoured the town looking for the suspect. Police looked around Wells Fargo Bank for the suspect, although he said there was no attempted bank robbery. Garcia told the Durango Herald around 3 p.m. that the suspect had been caught. He did not have information if there was a victim in the incident. Garcia did not have additional information on the shooting. The Ignacio Police Department did not immediately respond to calls seeking comment. Sindelar said she believes the shooting was drug-related. She said she lived in Ignacio for 20 years, and recently drugs are becoming more of a problem. In February, another shooting occurred in Ignacio when a 25-year-old man shot a 47-year-old man. The victim survived the shooting, but the suspect was later killed a few weeks later after a standoff with Farmington police. The Ignacio Police Department has yet to release the details of what motivated that shooting.
An update from Wednesday on the 416 fire north of Durango from the Herald. Photo, Mary Ann Bryant, and in-house courtesy. A community meeting that was scheduled for 6 p.m. Wednesday at Silverton Town Hall had been moved to Silverton School Gym on 12th and Reese Street. High temperatures combined with low humidity helped the 416 fire to grow to over 4,000 acres as of Wednesday morning. Overnight flights mapped the fire at 4,015 acres, which is about 1,000 acres larger than it was Tuesday morning. Containment remains at 10%. Yesterday was an active day for the 416 fire, said Bethany Urban, a spokeswoman for the Type 2 firefighting team. There were definitely some gusty winds from the south, temperatures were a bit higher, and we had lower relative humidity levels, so obviously that increased fire behavior. Similar fire behavior was expected Wednesday, Urban said. The fire had active crown runs on the southern end of the fire until around 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. The fire spread mainly to the south, which prompted an additional 252 pre-evacuation notices Tuesday afternoon in the Hermosa area on the east side of U.S. Highway 550. Crews plan to spend Wednesday protecting structures in the Hermosa area and building defensible lines along Highway 550 in the corridor. Aerial missions had been planned for the south flank of the fire, but fire officials said conditions on the ground didn't warrant the flights. Urban said the crews were starting to make progress toward building containment lines rather than working on direct suppression and attacks. We're really trying to get ahead and prepare those areas so that they can scout ahead of the fire and identify locations that they can engage the fire, so if it does start to spread, they can engage it in an area that is safe to do so, she said. 6 helicopters are available to fight the fire, but they will be used only if it's necessary to aid the overall firefighting strategy. Firefighters will continue to battle against unfavorable weather conditions. The temperature is expected to reach 88 degrees Wednesday, and humidity and low humidity with 10 to 15 mile-an-hour winds, according to Tom Renwick, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Grand Junction. The forecast looks similar over the course of the next few days. Today, our fire behavior risk is considered high, Urban said. Tomorrow, Thursday, is actually considered severe. This week is definitely a critical fire level week. The Federal Incident Command Team had 598 firefighters fighting the blaze, with more expected to join Wednesday. Smoke should persist, and San Juan Basin Public Health issued an air quality health advisory that will remain in effect until at least today, Thursday. Highway 550 will reopen under limited access from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The south end of the road closure was moved up from Baker's Bridge to County Road 250.
According to the Cortez Journal, with a photo by Emily Rice with the Journal, a 2-vehicle crash west of the Mesa Verde National Park entrance on Friday resulted in the death of one driver, Colorado State Patrol officials confirmed Wednesday. Gene Hughes, age 71 of Mancos, died just after 9 p.m. Friday from injuries sustained in a collision near the intersection of U.S. Highway 160 and County Road 34 about 7 hours earlier. State Patrol Captain Adrian Driscoll and Hughes appeared to have been turning left onto the highway from Road 34 when Brandon Pino, age 25 of New Mexico, T-boned his vehicle. On Wednesday, he said Hughes apparently did not yield the right-of-way while turning left. Driscoll said State Patrol investigators don't suspect alcohol, drugs, or excessive speeds as factors in the crash, and no charges will be filed against Pino, who sustained minor injuries. State Patrol troopers, Montezuma County Sheriff's deputies, Mancos and Cortez firefighters, and Southwest Health ambulances responded to the scene of the crash about 2 p.m. Friday. Emergency crews extricated Hughes from his vehicle, a white Hyundai. A Flight for Life helicopter arrived about 3 p.m. to airlift him from the scene, but he was transported by ambulance to Southwest Memorial Hospital instead. About 2:30 p.m. Friday, Assistant Cortez Fire Chief Sean Biddle said the highway was closed in both directions at the intersection, but at 2:51 p.m. scanner chatter revealed only one lane remained closed. Traffic began to move freely in all lanes about 3:30 p.m. Montezuma County Sheriff Steve Nowlin said deputies conducted traffic control just after the accident. Driscoll said most of his troopers were busy responding to the 416 fire 10 miles north of Durango, so troopers from Montrose investigated the crash site about halfway between Cortez and Mancos.
From the Denverite.com, courtesy photos. It's anyone's guess who is leading the Democratic gubernatorial slate, but there's a pretty clear frontrunner among Republicans, State Treasurer Walker Stapleton. He's leading the four-man group, which includes Victor Mitchell, Doug Robinson, and Greg Lopez. Unlike a pre-assembly debate in April, all four will be on hand tonight, Thursday at 7 p.m. during a Republican gubernatorial debate produced by 9 News and airing on Channel 20 KTDV. Lopez, Mitchell, and Robinson will feature on a Colorado Public Television debate live-streamed Wednesday at 2 p.m. and then broadcast on Channel 12 on Friday at 9 p.m. If you need a reminder of Stapleton's popularity, we should revisit his unprecedented move this spring. After abandoning his petitions over issues with signature gathering, he waltzed into Boulder to the party's state assembly 4 days later and earned a spot on the primary by winning 43% of delegates, more than any other candidate. He needed to get at least 30% to qualify on the ballot, and he was able to get enough support after months of focusing on petitioning gathering and with no intent of participating in the assembly. The limited polling data available is also backing up Stapleton's lead. 2 weeks ago, tucked inside a congressional race poll of 519 likely Republican primary voters in the 5th congressional district race was a governor ballot question. While it's only a portion of the state, it showed Stapleton with a lead among voters in El Paso County, which the polling firm right-leaning Magellan Strategies said historically contributes close to 20% of all Republican primary ballots cast in Colorado. A March poll from the same firm had Stapleton's comfortably in the lead. Stapleton earned 32% of support in the May poll. The newer poll made another revelation. Mitchell was now sitting squarely in second place, earning 18% support from all voters. The poll showed 34% of respondents were undecided. In our view, the emergence of Victor Mitchell as the primary challenger to Walker Stapleton is obviously the biggest finding, Magellan Strategies wrote in the summary. While this sample and the ballot test results could be representative of statewide Republican primary voter opinion, we want to be clear that it is not. We stress to everyone reading this survey summary to keep that in mind. Mitchell has released 3 ads attacking Stapleton. Mitchell has spent a lot of money reminding people of Stapleton's East Coast connections. He was born there and got a graduate degree there as well. He has repeatedly referred to Stapleton as George W. Bush's cousin and criticized his family connection. A TV ad released last week is borderline comical, depicting a conversation between 2 white guys, Winston and Brooks, the latter of whom says words like indubitably a lot, playing tennis and discussing how they've chosen Stapleton as their candidate. The ad has more than 47,000 views on YouTube as of Tuesday. Another TV ad posted Monday on YouTube from Mitchell calls attention to Stapleton's Bush connection while contrasting Mitchell as the conservative outsider businessman candidate. There's also a 1-minute radio ad repeating similar lines and saying Stapleton takes money from the Trump-hating Bush family network. So Mitchell clearly isn't afraid of bashing Stapleton. Will he similarly call out Stapleton on stage? Mitchell, along with Robinson, Mitt Romney's nephew, and former SBA Director Lopez, might not have any other choice. You can vote for the Republican primary ballot if you're a registered Republican or a registered unaffiliated voter. The primary election is June 26th.
According to the Cortez Journal, crews from multiple agencies, including the Dove Creek Volunteer Fire Department, Bureau of Land Management, and the U.S. Forest Service, worked Tuesday to put out hot spots and reinforce a containment line around a wildfire west of Cajon. By Wednesday afternoon, the fire was extinguished, said Pleasant View Fire Chief Jeff Yoder. By mid-morning Tuesday, the fire was smoldering and smoking on 21 acres of private land near County Road N, a few miles west of U.S. Highway 491 in Dolores County. Dan Kaufenberg, BLM incident commander for the fire, said the goal was to reach full containment Tuesday and turn the fire over to local agencies if it didn't grow. He estimated that the fire was 70% contained on Tuesday afternoon. But when the fire was discovered Monday evening, fire behavior was high, Kaufenberg said, with flames 20 to 30 feet high in the trees and 5 to 8 feet high in the sagebrush. There was concern that the fire would spread out of Alkali Draw and into adjacent canyons, where it could have been pushed northeast by winds toward structures and homes a mile away. Air support was called in Monday evening, and a helicopter and 2 single-engine air tankers dropped retardant on the fire, according to Grant Allen of the Dove Creek Fire Department. On Tuesday, 40 to 50 firefighters battled the blaze, including an interagency hotshot crew. The fire burned on private land about a half-mile northeast of the canyons of the Aitchins National Monument border. No road closures or evacuation orders were given, and no structure damage was reported. Dolores County road crews provided water tankers and a D8R dozer that plowed containment lines. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The National Weather Forecast from NOAA, North American Prediction Models, shows a high pressure remains in place over the southwest and most of the western U.S., while that band of thunderstorms and possible severe thunderstorms and flooding conditions stretch down into Texas, back up through to Montana, and across the plains into the Rust Belt. For today, predictions show that southern states and along most of the Gulf Coast, they catch a break from the rains, while Florida remains soggy with rains and thunderstorms up the coast to the Carolinas. The rest of the east is mostly clear for today, with the exception of lingering potential thunderstorms in the upper New England region. The regional report states that eastern Utah and western Colorado remain between high pressure systems to the east and a broad low pressure to the west. The resulting southwest flow will continue to bring warm and dry air into the area. This afternoon, a higher level weak and dry trough will pass overhead, which will cause southwest winds to increase across the forecast area through this afternoon. Following the wind bursts, conditions will change so that the wind will decrease through to Friday. Friday should bring more dry and very warm conditions, and then the ridge of high pressure over our area will shift slightly east on Saturday as a large trough affects the northwest U.S. As the southwest pattern increases this weekend, expect elevated fire weather concerns. A fire weather watch is already in effect for northwest Colorado and the Roan Plateau in eastern Utah for Saturday afternoon and early evening. Models show a hint of some moisture potential over the higher elevations across the south and on Saturday and Sunday, which may result in a slight chance of showers and storms. The southwest flow will die down early next week as a large closed low system spins north of Montana. Models indicate a low confidence of a slight increase in moisture from the south by midweek to next week. Temperatures again will continue to run well above normal through early next week. The local DCTV 5-day outlook remains mostly the same as yesterday, with added strong wind potential on the weekend. So today, sunny with a high near 82, south-southwest winds 10 to 15. Tonight, clear with a low around 52. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming east-southeast in the evening. Then Friday, sunny with a high near 85, southeast winds 5 to 15, becoming south-southwest in the afternoon. Friday, clear with a low around 52 overnight, south-southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming east-southeast after midnight. Saturday, sunny with a high near 86, breezy with a southeast wind 10 to 20 miles an hour, becoming south-southwest in the afternoon. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 54. Sunday, sunny with a high near 84 and again breezy. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 49, with breezy remaining in the forecast. And then Monday, sunny with a high near 82. Monday night, clear with a low around 50. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 84, and Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low around 51. And now, back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, with a photo from the Herald file, just in the nick of time, the Environmental Protection Agency has found a place to store waste from the Gold King mine at a site near Silverton, removing the need to haul it more than 70 miles to a landfill south of Durango. EPA officials announced last week that the agency has entered an agreement with a property owner who owns the Kitimak Tailings, a historic mine waste pile about 6 miles northeast of Silverton along County Road 2. The EPA built a $1.5 million temporary water treatment plant north of Silverton in October, 3 months after the agency triggered the Gold King mine blowout, which sent a torrent of mine waste down the Animas and San Juan rivers. Since the water treatment plant has been treating and removing potentially toxic metals out of the water that continues to discharge from the Gold King mine, in April, the EPA said the mine was still leaking 450 gallons a minute. The water treatment plant adds lime to the mine wastewater to raise the pH of the water so that dissolved metals become solid and can settle in settling ponds, a highly effective process. The process, however, generates a lot of sludge. EPA has said an estimated 4,600 cubic yards of sludge is generated a year. The agency had been storing this sludge waste product, which is considered non-hazardous, at the site of the water treatment plant in an area known as Gladstone, about 6 miles north of Silverton along County Road 110. The EPA announced this spring, however, room was running out at Gladstone for the sludge. Then a statement sent May 31st said the space had run out. The agency tried for months to find another place near Silverton, to no avail. As a result, EPA officials said in April the agency would have to haul the sludge over 2 mountain passes and through the town of Durango to a dump at the Bondad landfill, about 18 miles south of Durango off U.S. Highway 550. An estimated 700 trips a year would have been taken, Cynthia Peterson, an EPA spokeswoman, said at the time.
From the Cannabis.co and Denver Post, photo courtesy Mary Jane Products. School nurses in Colorado now can administer non-smokable medical marijuana to students whose parents have given permission. Colorado law already permitted parents to give their children medical marijuana at school, typically for treating seizures. A new law signed this week by Governor John Hickenlooper allows parents to bring the medicine to a school nurse's office for a child who has a medical marijuana card. The law requires that the medicine be kept in a locked storage container and that the school principal and a parent have a written agreement. It also says the parent must bring a doctor's note that instructs the school nurse about dosage and timing. Under the law, students receiving medical marijuana at school cannot carry the medicine to the nurse's office or bring it on a school bus. The governor, in a letter, said he signed House Bill 1286 because of the protections to ensure medical marijuana would not, quote, end up in the hands of other students. Hickenlooper also said he consulted parents whose children received medical marijuana and found their, quote, reasoning and advocacy very compelling. The law does not require school staff to administer doses of medical marijuana, only giving them permission.
According to the Cortez Journal, with a photo by Emily Rice with the Journal, new buildings, spacious sunlit patient rooms, and modern technology greeted dozens of visitors to the grand opening of the expanded Southwest Memorial Hospital campus on Monday. Anchoring the south side of campus, the $32 million project features a 2-story medical office building that puts 18 medical providers under one roof and includes a retail pharmacy. On the north side, a modern 13-bed inpatient wing was built along with a new front entrance and lobby and new EMS station. The 25,000 square foot medical office building improves patient care and access to doctors and provides improved facilities and workspace for staff, said tour guide Lindsay Yeager. Rows of exam rooms will mean less time in the waiting room. The layout also accommodates staff needs, including a row of private cubicles with views of Mesa Verde conference rooms, a shower for those who bicycle to work, and ample workspace and storage. The new 26,000 square foot inpatient wing has larger rooms with bathrooms, more advanced intensive care units, updated patient monitors and beds, and a modern nurse call system, said tour guide Chuck Dennis. For infectious patients, some rooms have negative pressure technology and specialized venting to prevent disease from spreading into the hospital. The new layout also separates patients and critical medical services from public traffic areas, Dennis said.
From the Journal out of Mancos, photo Emily Rice. The Mancos Board of Trustees on May 23rd unanimously awarded a $2,000 contract to Lily Russo from the Board of Trustees and $1,000 from the Creative District for a flower mosaic on the bathrooms of Boyle Park. Russo gave a presentation to the board of her experience in mosaic art and an option of 2 designs. The board favored a flower design. Trustees unanimously approved the project preservation nomination of Mount Lookout Grange number 339 for cultural purposes. Catherine Fulton spoke to the board about projects being considered by the Grange. Trustees approved the application for historic designation by unanimous roll call vote after the item was heard at a public hearing before the Planning Commission on May 16th. After discussion, the board voted unanimously to raise water and sewage overage rates to $2 per 1,000 gallons for customers who use 6,001 to 9,000 gallons a month. Customers who use more than 9,000 gallons a month would pay $4 per 1,000 gallons. This year in January, we decided not to do any rate increases until we had a chance to do some research and talk about it as a board, Town Administrator Heather Alvarez said. When we built the sewer plant, we had a horrendous increase because we were not doing a little bit each year. It was like a 56% increase, and our citizens just can't afford that. So what this does is it increases the rate 2.5% on both water and sewer. The trustees also discussed the town's code enforcement process, deciding to take a more proactive approach. I like the idea of proactive because it's more fair, Trustee Cindy Simpson said. Mayor Queenie Bars raised concerns about elderly citizens who might have physical trouble with following code enforcement. Town code officials, administrators, and the board agreed that on the town's cleanup day, volunteers could help those citizens. According to the draft minutes of the meeting provided by Alvarez, staff has been conducting code enforcement on a reactive basis when citizen feedback is received. We're going to begin conducting proactive code enforcement. A workflow was submitted to the board for their review. Staff will move forward with the preparations. The board moved into executive session at 8:35 p.m. to discuss legal advice with the town attorney David Lieberman. The board adjourned their meeting at 10:01 p.m.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of May 28th through June 3rd. A report of trespassing by juveniles in the Kahona area. The case is under investigation by an officer. There was a report of a door being opened for several days to a residence. The owner was contacted and everything was okay. There were multiple reports made of smoke being seen from the fires in the 416 fire and the Horse Park fire. There was a report of large amounts of smoke being seen from the air over Lizardhead Pass. San Miguel County conducted the investigation for this. There was a report of a small child being left alone. The complaint was investigated and everything was okay. Received a report of a home burglary and property damage. The case is under investigation. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. Today, June 7th through June 9th, is the San Juan Stampede Pro Rodeo in Monticello, Utah. Tickets can be purchased at the gates or in advance at BCL in Blanding and San Juan Record in Monticello. Professional events, bareback riding, steer wrestling, tie-down roping, saddle bronc, team roping, barrel racing, bull riding. Local events on Thursday are rescue race, local barrels, and stick horse race. On Friday, it's local barrel race, hide race, and stick horse racing. And Saturday, local barrel racing, rescue race, and stick horse racing again. And over in Montezuma County, Colorado, the 88th annual Ute Mountain Roundup Rodeo is June 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Montezuma County Fairgrounds. There will be 3 theme nights this year. Thursday tonight is Military Appreciation Night, Friday is First Responder Appreciation Night, and Saturday is Rodeo Heritage Night. There's mutton bustin' and stick horse races for the kids all 3 nights. Bull riding, barrel racing, calf roping, team roping, bronc riding, bareback riding, steer wrestling, and new this year, American bullfighting. We'll be introducing American bullfighting on Thursday and Friday nights this year, they said. The Ute Mountain Roundup Rodeo is thrilled to welcome Chris Furr to Montezuma County this year. RFD TV will be filming special cowboy moments right here in Montezuma County. Gates open at 5:30 and rodeo starts at 7 p.m. You can buy your tickets online to save. The adults are 16, children 12. At the gate, the prices are $18 for adults and $14 for kids. And you can go online to find more information at utemountainroundup.org or call 970-759-2898. And locally in Dove Creek, it's Town Cleanup Day this week. This Saturday, June 9th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Bring your trash to the dumpsters behind the town office. Certain restrictions apply. See their flyer for full details. And the county is also opening up the transfer station on Saturday for those in the town of Dove Creek to deliver their tree limb debris. Let's all work together to get Dove Creek cleaned up. All of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on social media. Our Facebook page is DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.